What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge. I'm your host, Alan Bell. We got a fantastic show lined up for you this Wednesday. But before we get to that, let's take a look at how we did on yesterday. And, I'm almost afraid to press the button. All right, the left side of the show, Maestro Buckets coming through. Right side of the show, Sight Play, no. Me, three bad plays. Man, them Yankees, that really hurt me. But we did come back on the Early Edge in 5 and swept through that one. Prop Stars hits his Quintana. Bowman hits Phillies and the Pirates. I hit on the Rangers and the Orioles, both team to score. So 7-4 day. We'll take it. A lot of those losses were on me, but you know what? That's why we bring in the stars of the show to make it look better than just myself. Zach Simony, how we doing, sir?
Good morning, everyone. I think it's my first show with Buckets and Calvin, so glad to be a part of this today. Yesterday, I had a very, very busy day. I didn't have any action, so I've got to get back to it today.
Well, hey, you know what? Welcome back. And it's nice. Look, I think you're right. I think it's the first time that we've had probably all four of us, on the show, just us together. So, you know what? We're going to make a little history today. Buckets, how do you feel about that, man? We're gonna drill through all our picks?
We're going to drill right through, maybe.
I like it. You did a nice job yesterday with that, man. And Calvin, welcome in, buddy. You've been crushing it in the WNBA, man. And, buddy, it's awesome. Second, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you guys. This is, like you said, a little bit different crew than what I've been on before. So if we go undefeated, we'll have to get this group together more often.
I'm telling you, man. You know what? We're just going to get Jeweler to schedule it correctly. All right, everybody, before we get into our picks and storylines for today, want to make sure that we have been nominated for a Best Sports Podcast category in the People's Choice Podcast Awards. First, it's all because of you guys, so thank you so much. And if you'd like to vote for us, go to podcastawards.com/app/sign up. Talk about the sports category, and you can vote for us there. It takes less than 60 seconds, but honestly, through all of it, we all just say thank you. Like, it's because of you guys. We really do appreciate it, so thank you on that. All right, let's get into our storylines that affect the betting lines for today. And Zach Attack, I'm coming to you first. The Sacramento Kings summer team, man, they're just crushing the books, man. What do you got?
Yeah, you've got a small window to take advantage of this, but we're going back to last year in this first part of Summer League this year. The Sacramento Kings are one of the best betting streaks in for the Vegas books right now. They won 5 straight to end Vegas Summer League last year, and they won the first 3 this year in the California Classic. All of those have been ATS-wise. And the thing that I've noticed with the Sacramento Kings, they aren't afraid to play their top picks. Davion Mitchell, he played throughout the whole Summer League last year, was very key in them building momentum after struggling in the California Classic. And right now, it is Keegan Murray. The Kings are loving that they took him over Ivy. He's flourishing. He had over, I think, 25 points yesterday. So keep an eye on how they continue to play him. And I also want to and keep an eye on the point spreads too. Yesterday, for some reason, it was a pick'em spread between the Sacramento Kings and LA Lakers. It jumped to the Lakers -3. Obviously, that was wrong. So in Summer League action, you do not want to necessarily follow the money, just like you do in NBA regular season, NBA playoffs. It's not always going to be right. And the second part of the NBA Summer League, last year, they switched the format. Every team's going to play 4, you want to call it regular season games, 4 games, and then the playoffs championship is all that it is. There is no playoff. So the championship is the 2 best teams record-wise. And last year, we saw 4 teams were undefeated going into the last game. So how do they determine the tiebreaker? It's by average margin of victory. So there's an incentive to blow out teams. I went and dug up those 4 teams that were undefeated. Their average margin of victory was between 14 and 21 points. And I'll just spotlight the Sacramento Kings victories last year: 80-70, 89-75, 90-75, and 86-70. So you can take advantage of these small Summer League numbers and an incentive to blow out teams on these teams that have undefeated records.
Man, that's awesome, especially the incentive, to blow teams out. That's a bettor's best dream right there, knowing that information going in, right? Yeah, it's good information there. All right, Buckets, coming over to you. All right, first off, let's just say, again, I've seen your picks. There's no chance I'm going to be able to pronounce any of these teams, so we're going to need you to come through on that one. But second, talking to us about VAR and AI, how's it going to change, man?
Well, real quick, AB, let me ask you this. If you had to put odds on you to successfully pronounce every team today, what are those odds looking like for you?
Yeah, that's going to be a plus 25,000. Like, this is going to change people's lives if it happens. So let me just go ahead and say that.
Perfect. Well, going into more serious storyline that will affect the betting world here is FIFA just announced that for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, They will be using new AI-based technology to help make their VAR and offsides calls more just correct. We've seen time and time again where a referee will go to the replay system and make incorrect calls, whether it's just hard to miss details or struggling to kind of keep their composure that game. That'll no longer be a problem in the World Cup. FIFA is using technology in the ball itself to track to the very exact millimeter where the ball is at the time of any shots to get more accurate calls on goals or disallowed goals moving forward for the World Cup. They've also mentioned that if they see success in this system, they could implement the new AI technology into all of the big leagues in Europe over the next couple of years. So this is a big deal because we could see this turn into a more automated refereeing system across the board here in soccer.
You know, I look at Twitter, right? Like anytime that VAR makes like a big decision, and nobody's like, no one's ever happy with it whatsoever. Yeah, it is. It is. Like everyone hates VAR. Everybody liked the tiny car though. What was that in the Euro, the Euro 2020? Yeah, I like the tiny car. I was big on that one. Yeah. All right, Calvin, coming over to you, man. All right, taking a look at the WNBA, specifically the Lynx and them turning it around. Talk to us, man. What do we need to know?
Yeah, well, the Minnesota Lynx, they're in 11th place right now. This is a 12-team league, so they're right there towards the bottom. But this team started out terrible in May, and they are really coming on strong as of late. Second in net rating over the last 10 games. It's not just a hot week or anything. They've played 22. It's basically half of the season that they're second in league in net rating. They're playing the first place team, the Sky, today. It's an afternoon game, tips off in a few hours. They're only getting 2 points against the top team in the league. The futures are still at plus 15,000 at most books right now. With the new format that the WNBA has in the playoffs this year, with 8 teams getting in, no buys, no double buys, all you really need to do is sneak in. And we've seen how teams, it's not like the NBA where if you get in as the 7 or 8 seed, you got no chance to win the championship. We just saw the Sky last year as the 6 seed out of 8 go on a run and win the championship. So anything can happen as long as you get in. It's a lot more like baseball or football in that regard. And keep in mind, the Lynx are playing right now. They're doing all this without an MVP caliber player in Nafisa Collier, who hasn't played all season, gave birth a month and a half ago. She has stated she wants to come back at some point this season. If they get her back, plus 15,000 could be looking like a steal if they sneak in as a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah, that would be a steal. And you're right in the sense that we're seeing with the WNBA, but we've seen it also, with sports when they expand their playoffs out. Right? Like it gives other teams options. Look at the NFL this year, the Rams and the Bengals especially, right? So 100% on that one. All right. Before we get into our picks for today, let's take a quick break and hear a word from one of our sponsors. And we are back. All right. One play for you on the board today. We're going to go with the Oakland A's plus 1.5 against the Toronto Blue Jays. All right. Toronto starter Berrios, my man. I like him. Wildly inconsistent this season. He's got, a 7.92 ERA, and has given up 14 earned runs, all right, in his last 2 starts on the road. We're going to take the A's at plus 1.5 on the run line at minus 105. Quite frankly, it's a little bit of an affordable price there. We're going to take on that one. All right, so let's get into our picks for it today. All right, Zach, coming over to you first, man. You got one play, Major League Baseball. Hit us with it, buddy. What you got?
Okay, going to go with a strikeout prop with Miles Mikolas over 4.5. It's minus 135. We picked on the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday with the Sunday to Monday travel that everyone on the show seems to love. And I talked about in that St. Louis has been horrible against the Braves. Braves have now won 8 of 9 going back to last year over them. But I think this is a good spot for Mikolas, the 33-year-old. He's coming off just 1 strikeout, but earlier this year when he did the same, he followed that up with a 7 strikeout performance. And then the Atlanta Braves, as good as they are, they have 3 of the top 10 batters in Major League Baseball that have the most strikeouts, and 4 of the top 30. Then you go back to Mikolas. He's had 8 or more strikeouts in just 4 of his last 50 starts. 2 of those were this past month, and then one of those other 2 was against the Atlanta Braves. 3 key players struck out a lot. He had 9 in that game, but Austin Riley had 3 strikeouts, Dansby Swanson 2, and Ronald Acuna Jr. 2. So as hot as the Braves are, I think the veteran Mikolas gets it done here. Let's take over 4.5 strikeouts, price at minus 135.
There we go. Calvin Wetzel, coming over to you. You have 2 plays, WNBA. Break them down. What you got?
Yep. Couple picks, same game, Mystics Dream game tonight. We're going to start with the Dream plus 5.5. It's plus 5 at some books. I would still take it there. Maybe even sprinkle the money line plus 180 if you're feeling really good. I got on this show last week, and my storyline was about Tiffany Hayes coming back for the Dream and Erica Wheeler as well, getting their backcourt whole and healthy again and maybe going on a run. Since then, they've won their last 2 games, both at this exact same line. They were 5.5-point underdogs in both those games, won both games by double digits. I think they extend that streak tonight, 3rd straight game winning as 5.5-point dogs. So I would take the Dream probably up to even 4.5, or like I said, maybe sprinkle the money line. And then my favorite bet of the night, this has been my favorite bet for much of the season, 2nd quarter under, Mystics Dream, 2nd quarter under, 38.5. These bets for the Mystics are 21-0 when they face anyone other than the Aces. Aces, top offense in the league, love to run, fast-paced. 2 Mystics games against the Aces have hit the over in the 2nd quarter. The other 21 Mystics games have all hit the under in the 2nd quarter. So we're riding that trend tonight. You can get this at Bet Rivers. PointsBet should have it soon. If you can't get it pregame, most books will have it live at the end of the 1st quarter. So take the Mystics 2nd quarter under.
You know, I was going to say, I was very glad that you spoke about your 2nd quarter plays and that you've been riding it all season, because I was just about to say that. Like, I've seen you ride these 2nd quarter unders, and I love them. They crush, man. Well done on that. So I didn't want to give away any industry secrets, on your end, but I was glad that you said it. And nice job on that. All right, buckets. You know what? You're about to name some teams again. No chance I'm pronouncing them. However, break them down for us. You got 3 plays. What do you got?
Perfect. Well, I'm going to do my best to pronounce them correctly myself. And our first match is going to be FK Bodo Glimt versus KL Klaksvik. We are doing what we did yesterday. I'm taking a bet that I normally hate, and I just cannot ignore the value there today. We're taking under 3.5 goals in this match. Bodo Glimt is the heaviest favorite in all of Champions League qualifiers. They were a minus 1,100 going into this matchup last night. However, this is one of the only teams domestically that is really struggling right now. While these other teams are at the top of their divisions, Bodo Glimt is currently in the bottom half of the Norwegian Premier League. And for that reason, we could very easily see them take a 2-0 lead here and rest some of their star players, because they've got to focus on domestic play here. So we got under 3.5 at minus 135 there. Our second play is going to be Slovan Bratislava versus FC Dinamo Batumi. We're taking both teams to score here at minus 110. Slovan is the heavy favorite here. However, recently they've been struggling massively. They have failed to see a win in their last 5 games, while Batumi has failed to see a loss in their last 18 straight. Both of these teams do what we love to see, and that is score lots of goals and concede on the back end. So loving some both team to score action there. And going into our third and final game, we've got NK Maribor versus FC Shakhtar Sologorsk. I practiced that pronunciation a lot last night, so I'm pretty sure on that one. But we are rocking both teams to score there as well. I'd really recommend shopping odds on this one, because I found anywhere from minus 115 to plus 105 this morning while looking. Maribor have scored in 11 games straight and averaged 2.6 goals scored in those 11 games, but they've conceded in 4 games straight and 7 of their last 9. And Sologorsk is doing the same thing. They're scoring constantly, but they cannot defend. Both teams to score at plus odds there is phenomenal value, and I love to see that in this matchup.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, don't blame the books. Anytime that you get Shakhtar Sologorsk, on the pitch, you don't know what's going to happen, dude. You don't know what's going to happen. All right, everybody grab your paper, grab your pencil. Take a look at the recap here. Whoo, all right, it showed up on the screen. All right, Zach Attack is on McCullough over 4.5 Ks, minus 135. Calvin Wetzel is on the Dream plus 5.5. And the Mystics Dream, 2nd quarter, under 38.5 buckets. Here we go. This is for you. You're on Bodo Glimt Klaksvik under 3.5. You're on Bratislava and Dinamo Batumi, both teams to score minus 110. And NK Maribor versus FC Shakhtar Sologorsk, both teams to score plus 105. I feel I did pretty good on those. All right, our one side play, our one side play for today were the Oakland A's plus 1.5. The AB pick 3 today. We're going with the Guardians team total over 3.5, Brewers team total over 4.5, and the Mets team total over 4.5. And I'll say this, anybody that had to watch that Mets-Reds game last night, you deserve a Medal of Honor. That was brutal to watch. Ugly game, but I feel it's going to be a lot better for today. All right, I think that's all the damage we can do for today. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be live today again at 4 p.m. Eastern for the early edge in 5. Make sure to take a look at that. And, of course, on Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, as we always are. So, as always, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we'll see you tomorrow.